Yo, what is up, y'all? We're back here with another video. And if you're watching this video, you're probably either thinking about buying a G37, or you already have one, or you're just like, hey, I'm just bored. I want to learn something about a new car. I mean, it's not a new car, but hey, it's a car that you've probably seen on social media or whatnot. We've seen them a lot. We know what they are. We know what they sound like. Everybody got the little trumpet joke, whatever. I think it sounds pretty good. I mean, I'm a little biased, but I think it sounds pretty good. Anyways, y'all, we're gonna be talking about why I may think you shouldn't buy a G37. Although I do own one, this is not me telling you, hey, don't buy a G37 ever. This is just me kind of giving you a little warning of some things that you should keep an eye out for when you're in the market for one, or even if you're just like, hey, I already have one, maybe keep an eye on some things that you may not know about. So, with that being said, let's get started. All right, y'all. First thing up, we're going to talk about some of the common problems. We're going to go over this a little bit briefly. This is not an in-depth video talking about common problems with GT7. So we're just going to glance right over some of the things. One, where I want to start. Let's say coolant. Let's start with coolant first because that seems to be one of the more drastic problems to say. And as you know, like the car has a coolant bleeder. At times it fails because it's a plastic bleeder. It just deteriorates, it makes sense. Like it's going through hot coolant, it gets cold, hot, cold, hot. At some point the plastic's going to get brittle, it's going to break down, and unfortunately it could leave you inside the road like me, because I did experience that actually, and mine blew while driving, unfortunately, to a car show, and had to cancel on the event, couldn't go. But coolant bleeder, keep an eye on that. Sunroof drain, I guess I'm going through everything right now because I just had the same problem about 2 days ago. Sunroof drain is a problem. I probably actually just fixed it. So at some point you'll see a video of me talking about how to fix that permanently. There's different ways to do it. I'm seeing a lot of people do it. Some people go through it easier. Some people have it harder, where all of their drains are clogged. I had it where it was just my passenger side was clogged up. Fixed it before. Probably came back again because dirt built up again. This time I got a better fix, and we actually, sorted that out. But sunroof drains is nothing to keep an eye on. You guys don't want the puddle in your car because that is a problem of smell, water, mold, mildew. Like, you just don't want to go through it, y'all. Trust me, it smells pretty bad. All right. A couple more things to add on to the list actually is the brake kit, y'all. If you have the sport model, the 4-piston brake kit, sometimes the piston can fail. It's not something that's seen in like a really often chance, but it's something that could happen. And it did happen to my car, so I had to get switched out with the smaller brake kit, as you guys had me mentioned in the previous video when I did the rotors and whatnot. I did have to size down because the big brake kit is pretty costly to repair, especially if you want to get the actual Infinity rotors, which I did want. But yeah. Anyways, moving on down, the oil gallery gasket is something else to keep an eye out on. This is something that it's pretty prominent in like the G37 world. People know about it and stuff. If you do have a 2012 and up, you probably don't have to worry about it as much because during 2012 and 2013 and so forth on, Infinity, they actually changed up the material they use inside the oil gallery gaskets. So it's kind of like, it's a little bit stronger in there. The gasket itself, I believe, is a little bit more stronger, and then some of like the interior bits as well. But to be honest with you, it's kind of a normal maintenance item as well. It's not something that's too far off from having to be done on many cars, because it's an older car, it needs to be serviced, and things do happen as we get older in cars. All right, one last thing as well is the dashboard. I know a lot of people complain about the dash getting sticky and cracking and whatnot over time. Actually speaking, like, I didn't have a problem with mine getting sticky or cracking or anything. Like, I wasn't going through that. That wasn't why I did the suede. I did the suede just because I wanted it to look better. I will say, like, even with the suede, I don't have the problems with the heat, like, going through and messing it up or anything, like, from the sunlight. I do park my car, like, outside. It's, unfortunately, it used to be garage kept, but unfortunately right now it's not because, away from college and don't have a garage for that right now. But anyways, do keep an eye on the sticky dash. It can happen. If you do need a fix for that, you guys can check out one of my older videos where I did do, like, the suede dashboard, and it's pretty nice that way. It's a nice little neat thing to do. Another last thing I want to add is best for last right here is the fourth gear problems that you do have with your G. Either your downshifting is like really hard and rough, or your upshifting has like a little lag or delay. I will say, to my knowledge, a couple of like fixes for this is actually like either getting like a TCM flash, which is just like teaching like your transmission, like relearning kind of process. You can reflash your transmission and get like a tune for that in a way, or you can take it to a tune shop and they could tune your gears a little bit differently as well. I would probably suggest like a little bit taller gears in a way. You could do your checking if you want to go through that. Don't take my word for it right now. Do some research on it and whatnot. See if you want to go that route, go for taller gears. I heard that does help as well. And or you could just take it to get a dyno tune and whatnot. I'm pretty sure they can also do that as well. Another thing is Unfortunately, it is a thing that just happens. I haven't heard too many people about saying like, oh, their transmission gave out or anything. It's nothing like, to my knowledge, nothing that just completely craps on your transmission. It's just an annoying thing, and it feels weird when you're driving a car. And sometimes it does feel like it's gonna break, especially after like getting hot. Like me, like when my car gets really hot, it does feel like sometimes it wants to break. Well, not break, but it just feels like extra laggy. But I mean, like, if you're someone who's like worried about it, I have heard someone say, take my word for a grain of salt. Just go on it. So that means like shifting the gears. You have the paddle shifter, or you have the the regular like push up, push down, whatever. You can just like really like go on your gears. Switching up from high RPMs, low RPMs. Just seeing like how like the lag is and if it always lags. I've noticed that like actually driving a car like a sports car, I guess to say, it doesn't have any lag. Like if I'm actually like full throttling or anything, I don't experience that lag. I only experience that lag when I'm doing like regular like city commuting or like regular city driving around like maybe 25 to like anywhere from like 25 35 miles per hour. But really going on in the car, it does send. After with the common problems out of the way, hopefully I went through that quick enough for you guys. Let's actually talk about some of the other things to keep an eye out on and look out for. I promise you, it does get a little bit better from right here. All right, so if you are actually in the market right now for a car right now, and let's say your budget is $10K, there's a lot of cars you can probably get for under that budget. I will say with the G37, they are coming up in price a little bit. Some people say they're going down in price, but the ones that are going down in price are probably the ones that have been crapped on. Obviously, if you're looking for a clean model or something that's not been molested by somebody like a 19-year-old kid or a 17-year-old kid, I mean, hey, I guess I can't take too much credit, too much away from that, because I was that that kid when I got my G. Anyways, if you're looking to get in the market right now for a G, there is a lot of newer cars, a lot of more options are in that same price range, honestly. Let's say you have a budget of $10K, you could probably get, hear me out now, you could possibly get a Q50. It'd probably be like 2014, 2015, but you still can get a Q50. You can even get some newer ones with higher mileage and whatnot, but that's, up into you. You can get some BMWs. I'll put some pictures on the screen as well, some cars that you could possibly get from that budget. You could get, IS250. You could probably even get a newer, the new IS300. Actually, no, I'm lying. You probably can't get that. That one's, you can probably get one in a bad condition. But there's some other cars you could definitely get in that same price range. For example, if you even wanted to like go more luxury, you could get some Mercedes-Benz in that price range. I don't suggest getting any of the Benzes in that 10K price range though, because I don't think some of them will probably last as long as a G. But anyways, there is some things that you can get in that same price range. Like I said, I've seen some on the screen right now. Besides that, there is some more like some newer cars, but the G is still not as old as other cars. It's not down back into like 1990s or anything, but it does have some things that do come with the G as well, such as bad rep right now.
What is the worst car being modified right now?
G25.
What is that?
Infinity.
A G25?
That's 35, yeah.
Yeah, the street takeover car.
Yeah, that one.
The worst sounding car ever.
Unfortunately, they are known as like the takeover car. I don't honestly get it. I feel like it's more of a Charger and Camaro thing, in my opinion. Not really Challenger. It's more of a Charger and Camaro thing, in my opinion. Even though I say this as if like I'm not hating on the Chargers, y'all. Let me say that first. I'm not hating. I want a Charger, low key. I'm not gonna lie. I low key want to get a Charger. If I get one at Copart, I might snag one for a good price. But anyways, they do have that rap right now, the takeover crowd, and everybody's kind of hating on them, and you see it just going like circles and circles and circles. Everybody's like, oh, the takeover car, I don't want that. But that problem, it does actually kind of like lead to some other problems with like police and unwanted attention. Because cops know, like, they see those car takeovers a lot. They're looking at those cars a little bit more. They're saying, like, oh, this guy's probably doing something bad. He's probably going to do something. Like, chances are, there's probably like a 50% chance he's going to go speed off and away something. And if he was looking at me, you're probably right. I don't do takeovers or nothing, but, like, I mean, like, every now and then you do have to, like, step on your car. I mean, like, who's into cars and never just, like, full throttles for once, or just, like, there's, like, a little pull. Like, everybody does that. But with those problems, like, they do look at you a little bit more, and they do kind of like look at you as like a bad person to say, even though you probably aren't. You're probably just somebody like me who just takes care of the car, has some nice things going on, and just want to have a nice car. But it's just something you gotta know. You gotta keep that in mind. Unfortunately, it's something you gotta keep in mind. All right. My last thing I do want to add actually to you guys, actually tell you about it is an older car. Just keep that in mind. The G37 is specifically from what 09, well 08 for the coupe, 09 for the sedan, all the way up until I believe 2014 for the sedan, and I think the coupe went to the Q60 model. Q60 title or name, whatever you want to call it. But you know, they are a little bit of an older car. They're not as old as like other cars. You know, I mean, realistically, the G37 is pretty stout in my opinion. It's a pretty strong car, but there are some things that happen like creaking and whatnot. Rust does happen because it's been around for a while. Some things are just prone to like start to like fall apart. Not like completely break on you, fall apart, but like interior bits may start to like get loosened up. It may have some cracking in the dashboard. There may be some things that like shake and whatnot. And honestly, like to people who like are scared of that, it's nothing to really be scared of because there's new cars that creak more. Like realistically, if we look at some of the new, I hate to say this again, but some of the new Mercedes-Benz interiors, except for the G-Wagon. I mean, the G-Wagon is actually pretty good interior in my opinion. But some of the new Mercedes-Benz interiors, you shake the dash and it starts like, you hear like, it's like, I don't even know how to make the sound, but you know what I'm saying, y'all. But anyways, y'all, that's just like me telling you about some of the things to keep an eye out if you want to buy a G37. If my true honest opinion, if I had to give you a yes or no, would I buy one in 2024? Honestly speaking to you guys, if it was this year and I was going to buy a G, I probably wouldn't. To be honest. Only because, though, for the same amount of money I would put into a G, I know me, and I probably would have just got, like, a Q50 at the time. Like, at this time, like, maybe, like, I'll probably get a Q50 just because, like, it's a little bit newer, get a little bit better technology, a little bit more of a nicer body shape, in my opinion. I like the Hellas and the Q. That doesn't mean I hate the G, obviously, nothing. Like, I love the G. Like, honestly, like, if it was between a Q and a G, and I had to like sell one, I would sell the Q. I couldn't see me selling my G right now. But like I said, there are some other cars in this price range. For example, like some other Mustangs and whatnot. You can get some, like I said, BMWs, some Lexuses, some Infiniti. You can get the Q50. There's a lot of other cars you could get, like a Volvo sedan. So I'm trying to think. I'm just laying stuff on top of my head, right? But what I think around that price range, you get like Integra, RSX. You can get a Civic. There's a lot of other cars around that price range, obviously. And obviously, some of the years is going to vary. The cylinders is going to vary. The horsepower numbers are going to vary. But realistically speaking, the G37, in my opinion, is the best car for the under 10K price range, in my opinion. Under 10K price range that is still NA. Not no turbo. Don't compare no turbo cars to it or nothing. Anything that's NA, G37 sedan and coupe is the best. That's all I got to say. If you guys got anything to say about that, let me know down in the comments below. With that being said, y'all, peace.